Are you married but think your marriage is heading towards divorce? And worse, do you not know why, but nothing you're doing about it seems to be working? Let's face it, divorce is real. These days, about half of all marriages don't work out. And if your marriage is failing, divorce might be the only outcome if you don't turn things around soon. That's the bad news. The good news, there are proven ways to prevent divorce, although they're probably not what you're thinking. The first thing you'll need to do is this: to stop making the marriage mistakes that led to divorce. This video will show you 3 of the worst marriage mistakes of all. Right now, I'll share with you the first and biggest mistake right after you click like. After you click the like button below, I'll show you the big mistake most husbands make without even knowing. If you're one of those husbands, then it's probably the reason why your marriage is failing right now. So what's that big mistake? Click like real quick and I'll tell you. Go ahead, I'll wait. Are you done? Great. So here's the first and worst marriage mistake of all. And it's called pedestalizing your wife. What's pedestalizing? As you might guess, it's basically putting your wife on a pedestal, meaning you see her as someone higher than you, better than you, more important than you. Most husbands pedestalize their wife because most of the time it makes her treat them better. She's sweeter, she's more respectful, and she's more willing to do things for him. The problem is it doesn't last very long. Here's why pedestalizing is a horrible marriage mistake. Eventually, your wife will realize you're not the leader of the marriage. Instead, she is. And that's a terrifying, infuriating feeling for women. Soon, she'll show her fear and anger. She'll be more nitpicky, she'll be more disrespectful, and so on. She subconsciously tries to make you man up and dominate her like Mother Nature meant you to. If you keep pedestalizing your wife, things will just keep getting worse. Your marriage then becomes a slippery slope towards divorce. So my advice? If you're currently pedestalizing your wife, do her a favor and start dominating her instead. More on that later. For now, let's move on to the second marriage mistake, which is having a co-equal relationship with her. This is a slightly better setup than pedestalizing your wife, but still pretty bad. Here, you don't see her as better or more important than you. Instead, you see her as your equal. Many husbands do this too, and it's easy to think it's the right thing to do with all the equality narratives in media and society today. Unfortunately, it's yet another marriage mistake that leads to divorce. Why? Listen to this carefully. Your wife doesn't want to feel better than you. And she doesn't want to be your equal either, even if she says she does. Instead, deep inside, she wants you to be her man. She wants you to be the leader, to be the dominator, to be the pillar of strength of the marriage. Now, most wives will never say this out loud. They, like most people, have been brainwashed to think that submissiveness is bad. Of course, nothing could be further from the truth. Submission can be very good. Women feel happiest when they're attached to a strong, dominant, mission-driven man. It's not politically correct, I know. Then again, most facts aren't, right? Anyway, you get the idea. Now here's the third marriage mistake that leads to divorce. Not hurting your wife. Now, before you react, let me say that I don't mean physically hurting your wife. That's illegal, unnecessary, and quite frankly moronic if you ask me. Instead, what I'm talking about is emotional pain. And too many husbands make this mistake too. They'd sacrifice, they'd give in, they'd surrender to their wives' wills just to avoid hurting her feelings. Little do they know that by not hurting their wives, they're signing the marriage's death certificate. Why? I'll explain why in just a moment. For now, let me point out the common thread running through these 3 marriage mistakes. They all stem from the inability or the unwillingness to dominate your wife. So if you have been a rather non-dominant husband, that's bad news for your marriage. However, there is some good news for you. Depending on how bad your marriage is, you might just need a little dominance to right the ship. Or if your marriage is really on the rocks, then you might need to totally dominate her to save it. Either way, the solution is the same: dominance. And I'm about to show you a technique that will establish that dominance for you. It's called the fear charm, and it's your best chance at saving your rocky marriage. Before I show you how it works, take a quick moment to click the subscribe button below. After you subscribe, I'll show you how a little fear can be all you need to prevent a divorce completely. And best of all, she'll love you for it in the end. Ready to find out how it works? Then subscribe to this channel now. I'll wait right here while you do. Have you subscribed? Great. So let me tell you all about the fear charm. This technique was developed by my friend and mentor, Derek Rake. In case Derek's name rings a bell, it's because he's the only dating coach in the world who teaches mind control. Yup, we're talking about applied psychology, hypnotism, that sort of thing. And the fear charm happens to be one of his most useful techniques. See, here's why fear is important to save a failing marriage. Right now, if your relationship is heading for a divorce, it's because your wife isn't afraid of losing you. That, or she feels divorcing you is better for her than not divorcing you. In other words, she feels little to no fear of losing you. And if you want to prevent a divorce, that's what you'll need to change. And the fear charm will do just that. If your marriage isn't all that bad just yet, maybe just a few hiccups here and there, then you can instill fear in her in a passive, non-violent way. Here are a few examples. When you're talking, you freely mention your ex-girlfriends and what they were like. Or you can casually mention how much you liked being free and independent as a bachelor. Or here's my favorite. You simply treat your life's mission as your number one priority, and she's your number two. These examples will subtly let your wife know that if push came to shove, you could leave her and still be happy. If she's like most women, her pride can't handle that, and so she'll think twice before giving you the pleasure. Now, if your marriage is really rocky, then you can instill fear more directly. The best example is to simply just shut off. You leave the house for a few days, your phone turned off the whole time. Then you come back as if nothing happened, and when she demands to know what you did, you simply tell her, "I needed some alone time." And after that, you stop talking, or begging, or negotiating, etc. Whatever pedestalizing behavior you may have had in the past. And then, when she finally apologizes, that's when you turn around and give her what she wants. See how the fear charm works? It prevents divorce by getting rid of the root cause directly. So the next time someone tells you all you need is love, you'll know it's not true. You also need to instill fear, healthy, constructive fear. Got it? Great. Now, one more thing. As powerful as the fear charm is, it's not sustainable. It's enough to snap your wife out of the "I want out" mindset, that's for sure. Unfortunately, the fear charm can wear off eventually, and if you don't sustain it, she'll eventually lose interest in the marriage again, and sustaining the fear charm can be exhausting. That's why you need the second technique, fractionation. What is fractionation? It's yet another of Derek Rake's famous mind control techniques. In fact, Derek calls fractionation the most powerful one of all. Think of fractionation as nuclear-grade fear charm. It doesn't pull any punches. It practically forces your wife to submit to you because if she doesn't, she'll be unhappy for the rest of her life. Meanwhile, it also makes her feel that if she does submit to you, she'll be happier and more contented, and so it becomes the obvious choice for her to make. How would you like that? What would it be like if your wife knew, deep inside, that staying with you was the obvious choice to make? Then keeping your marriage together would be the easiest thing to do, right? That's exactly what you'll get when you master the fractionation technique, and you can do that today. In just a moment, a link will come up inside this video. When you see it, click on it right away. It'll take you to an online masterclass on mind control. This online masterclass will teach you everything you need to know about fractionation, and it'll be given by none other than fractionation's inventor, Derek Rake himself. So if you want to save your marriage, click on the link now and sign up for Derek's masterclass. After all, you've just learned the 3 worst marriage mistakes that lead to divorce. Do you want to avoid that outcome at all costs? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Then click the link and join Derek's online masterclass now. Your wife will love you for it, trust me on this. Click the link now.